You're watching the Self-Determination Channel.
Welcome to Just Ask, a video series about being different, being brave, and being you.
Join us for curiosity and connection as self-advocates and community leaders connect through conversation and self-discovery.
Participants are following and acting on advice from Justice Sonia Sotomayor, author of Just Ask.
My name is Stephenie and I am a self-advocate. I work a lot in sexual violence prevention for people with disabilities. So that means I'm on a lot of boards and committees, including the Wisconsin Board for People with Developmental Disabilities.
My name is Nathaniel and I am the community member, and I am an outreach advocate for People First Wisconsin, who is working on this Just Ask project with the Wisconsin Board for People with Developmental Disabilities. How do your unique skills or abilities help you contribute to your community?
First off, I would say I'm a natural relationship builder. I like making connections with people. I like talking about work we can do together. I like to find ways that we can help each other and network and grow our missions and our priorities. And practically, I have a lot of fund development and freelance writing experience. I've been doing that for about 17 years. I know a lot about that area, and I've also been working in sexual violence prevention for folks with disabilities for 3 years. And then I think the last skill and ability that I have is I'm a quiet leader. I'm probably never going to be the loudest voice in the room, but I do step up into leadership positions and work and collaborate with others quite a bit. If you need something, you can talk to Steph. That's what people always say.
That's such a great line. What challenges do you face and how do you overcome them?
I can think of two that I am currently working on. And one I've already mentioned, which is the sexual violence prevention work that I do. But the reason I do it is that I'm a survivor of sexual violence myself. And when I found out about how often it happens to people with disabilities, because it turns out that statistics show 84% of adults with disabilities will experience some sort of sexual violence in their adult lives. So when I found out about that statistic and started to look closer at what was happening, it really gave me a personal mission to start to help other folks with disabilities who have been through that same thing. And it wasn't something I thought I would ever do, but I have found a lot of hope and healing in it for myself, and also seeing a lot of hope and healing in it for others. And so it's really driven me to make a difference there. I think that challenge might be with us long term, but I will work at it long term. And then the other area, the policy area that I've been working on that's challenging, is the elimination of the marriage penalties. And I just got back from Washington, D.C., where I talked about this with our representatives. I'm not sure how much people who don't have disabilities are aware of it, but for folks that want to get married, at the moment, if you do marry someone with disabilities or without, there's different penalties that can affect both your benefits and your health insurance coverage. And so I'm trying to get the word out about that so that we can get those laws off the books, because there's no reason for there to be marriage penalties for folks with disabilities. I think it's outdated, I think it's cruel, and I think it's time everybody had the choice.
And Steph, could you refer to the benefits? Is it Social Security benefits? Is it SSI, SSDI? What kind of benefits are we talking about here?
Benefits that it affects are SSI, SSDI, and then there's something called a medical divorce for people that need Medicaid coverage later in life. A lot of times, if you're already married and something happens to you later in life and you need Medicaid healthcare coverage, you might on paper have to get divorced so that you can receive Medicaid. So it's all three of those that we're trying to get rid of.
Thank you for sharing. And lastly, what advice would you give to inspire others to pursue their dreams?
Everybody's journey to their dream and path to their dreams is going to look a little different, especially if you have disabilities. Again, going back to kind of the marriage penalty and marriage topic a little bit. For me, I first found out about these penalties when I was probably 16 years old. A family member at an event came and told me about them kind of at random, and I didn't know exactly how to respond. But at that point in time, I made a determination in my own head, and I thought to myself, I don't know if marriage is going to be in the cards for me or not. I don't know if this will happen or not. But if it does, I'm not going to let anything or anyone take that away from me. I will find a way to get married. And that was just kind of in the back of my head for a while. It wasn't until I met my husband, Ben, and it actually became a real possibility where I went, yeah, I still believe that. I still come back to that thought of, this is something I want to do. I'm going to do it. So a lot of times when you're first thinking about what you want to do or what you're dreaming of, I recommend giving yourself a thought like that and coming back to that thought as you go along to center yourself and remind yourself, this is my dream. This is what I want. This is what I'm going to do. Because I think as you get out in the world, folks aren't always supportive of that, and they need to be. But whether they support you or not, if you have it in your own head, most of the time for me, I know if I've determined it in my own head first, I will do it. I might need to find a way to do it. And it might be a different way to do it, but I will do it. And the other piece of advice I would say, I guess they kind of go together, is if you're making those determinations for yourself, trust yourself and realize that you might have to create your own opportunities to get to where you want to go. Because our lives don't always look the same or work the same. We have to adapt to a lot of things. And I think keeping that flexibility in it is important, and knowing that you can cut your own path to get to where you want to go. And I think the only other thing I would say is, because we just came back from DC, and one of the things I brought back with me to fuel my advocacy is I went to the Martin Luther King Jr. Memorial, and on the side of the memorial, it said, out of a mountain of despair, a stone of hope. And I think with where our community is and the times that we are in, it can seem like we're in a mountain of despair right now. So where I can, I'm picking up my stones of hope along the way and carrying them with me. And my two stones of hope right now are that we can eliminate those marriage penalties and we can improve the sexual violence prevention for folks with disabilities and continue to do that into the future. So if you haven't found your stones of hope yet, look around and pick them up as you go.
Thank you again for sharing your impactful contributions that you are fighting for people with disabilities who may not have a voice. So thank you.
If you have any questions about a person with a disability, just ask.
It's important to ask questions and learn about others' experiences instead of assuming their disability, because everyone's situation is different.
Guessing can lead to misunderstandings, can lead to stereotypes, or even unintentional harm. By asking and listening, we show respect, we build understanding, we create a more inclusive environment where people feel valued for who they are.
What did you think about today's conversation? Please share your comments below.
Thanks for watching, and be sure to give us a thumbs up if you liked this video. Please subscribe. We need your support to keep the channel going.